All right, so I'm here just to give you a quick 10-minute tutorial on the Learn to Run strength training program. This is for if you like me and you don't have any equipment. So we are going to start off with the number one item on there, which are step-ups. I'll show you a side view and a front view and also a couple of progressions. So the front view, if you have a coffee table or something sturdy that you know can hold your weight, what you want to do is have your foot flat on that table and you're going to step up and then back down, and you want this top leg doing all the work. The bottom leg is just hanging out, so stepping up and back down. And if you have a mirror or maybe a video camera in front of you, you want to watch this knee and make sure it stays lined up over your foot. So when you step up, you don't want your knee collapsing in, and you don't want it to bow out to the side either. So stepping up, if you see I lose my balance, my knee collapses in, try to keep it balanced over top and really control yourself on the way down, because even if you wobble a bit on the way up, you can still strengthen those muscles on the way down. It's very effective. If you want to see the side view, this is another way of doing it. So you see that my foot is flat on that coffee table, pressing up and then back down. So when you press up, try to get this top leg doing all the work so this bottom leg just floats off of the ground. So if we were to make this harder, I would flex my foot. Sorry, black socks are no good. Let's try that. So flex my foot so that my toes are up, and then I'm just going to hit with my heel first and come up. So if I point my toe, I'm going to be pushing off with that right leg, but if I keep my foot flexed, then it forces my left leg to be doing all of this work. So this is a progression that's a little bit tougher than just a regular step up like the first version I showed you, where you're just focusing on this leg, but maybe you might give a little bit of a push off with that other leg. So those are your step ups. In the program, I had you doing sets of 8, which is a good place to start. You want to make them quite challenging so that at 8 you're getting kind of tired and sick of them. If they're not that hard, then you need to progress to the next level. So try to just tap the heel down so it's nice and controlled. And then from there, you can also work on just adding more weight, so grabbing onto some dumbbells. All right, your second exercise, our knee drives. Sorry, I know my head is kind of getting cut off here, but my head is not important. What you need to see are my legs. So I don't have any tubing for knee drives, so I'm going to show you an isometric hold, which means you're just going to hold it in place. So we go back to looking at my legs. What you want to do is stand nice and tall on your one leg. You're going to lift the opposite one up. So my hip, knee, and toe are all flexed at a 90-degree angle. So if I turn sideways here, standing nice and tall, holding everything up at that 90 degrees. This is really good to do in front of a mirror. Start with a 30-second hold. You will feel it start to burn in all sorts of weird places. And then you can switch sides, lifting up, trying to keep everything aligned. Toes up, knees up, hips up. Again, I'll do the side view. Standing nice and tall as you can, as though someone was pulling the hair out of the top of your head, and holding that for 30 seconds, building to 60 seconds. So where you'll notice you start to cheat is you might start to drop your foot. That's wrong. You got to keep it up. Your knee might start to sag. You need to keep it up. And if we turn this way, oftentimes people start twisting. So try to keep everything aligned. All right, so that's your knee drive. Next one here is a calf raise. So there's a few ways to do this. One way is against a wall. So what you want to do is press your heels down towards the floor. Keep your knees locked. keep your body in a straight line, and you're just going to press up through your big toe. So you feel a bit of a calf stretch at the bottom, and you're going to press up, feel your calves working to press up. Now next level would be on one foot, so lift your one foot, doing the same thing. You want to lift your calves starting from that stretched position because you don't want to make your calves any tighter than they already are. And then the other way you can do this would be, let's see here, if you were standing on a step, I don't know if you can see that, there we go. So you just come right up onto your toe and then come right down so you feel like it's stretched through your heel. Same thing. So the keys for your calf raises are that you keep your knees straight and locked. You're not bending your knees. If you start to feel it into your glutes, that means you're cheating and you're bending your knees. And the other key you want to think about are pushing through your big toe. So if you notice your foot's rolling out to the side towards your pinky toes, that's also really bad. You don't want to do that. You want to push off from your big toe. Okay, so from there we have toe raises. So if I come back to my wall, I'm going to have my body in a nice straight line. All right. And so body's in a straight line and my toes are pulled right up. I'm going to tap them down and lift them up. Again, keeping my hips straight, my knees straight. Pulling those toes up as high as I can, get a good squeeze through the front of my shins, and then bringing those feet back down. This is more of an endurance exercise, so you do up to 20. Should really start to burn. Trying to get as much range as you can, so we'll lift those toes up super high. We have two left, the single leg deadlift, which I'm going to show you here instead of the hamstring ball roll. If you do football with me anytime, you'll know the hamstring ball roll. I don't own a ball, so this is a good alternative, the single leg deadlift. All right, so this one is quite technique intensive. So what you want to do, you're going to be on your one leg and you're going to think about your hips. They need to stay pointed down towards the ground, so you don't want to be twisting. So when I do this, you should never see my left glute, you should only see my right side. So I'm going to be standing on just my right leg and I'm going to keep my hips square to the floor. I'm going to hinge forward till I feel a good stretch through this hamstring and then come back up, still balancing on that right leg. So my left hip does not lift up. It always stays level with my right hip. If I twist this way, or turn the opposite way, maybe you can see that better. So I'm keeping this left hip down. If I let it rotate up, that's wrong. I need to keep it down. That's really the big key in this exercise. And then you're coming forward, feel that stretch through your hamstring, and then back up. Once you get that technique where you can keep your hips level and facing the ground, then you would grab your weights if you'd like, and you're just doing the same thing, that single leg deadlift, keeping those hips square and coming back up. All right, and the last one we have here are side bridges. I think most of you have done these before. So the key in your side bridges, look, I'm losing my other sock now. All right, the key on those side bridges are that you keep your body in a nice straight line. You're not sitting your hips back and you're not twisting back towards the ground. So pay attention to your body. You're going to push your hips up to the ceiling, contracting this lower oblique, and then keep your body in a nice straight line. Modified version for this is with that bent bottom knee, but notice my hips are still forward. They're not sitting back. You need to have this straight line here. Next version is here, and then I'm a big fan of putting a weight on your hip to make it tougher. So here, if you're feeling really ambitious and you have very good control, then you can lift that top leg. But if you do this, you really can't twist. Make sure you're not compensating, because most people cheat when they lift that top leg. All right, so those are your exercises for the Learn to Run program. I have all the sets and reps in the PowerPoint presentation, and if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a shout. Have a great day.